WWE fans, welcome to Fabulous Wrestling Talk WWE. We are talking Elimination Chamber. It is me, Jeremy York. It is him. I guess Carmelo Hayes isn't him anymore. I guess him is now Daniel Snyder. He is my tag team partner. We are going to break this down as only we can. Uh, First off, as always, how you doing?
Always good. Always good. Yeah. I'm I before we jumped on here, I looked at the card for the Elimination Chamber. I was expecting
Mm-hmm.
more matches than four.
I was too.
Um, don't know how I feel about that. And if I'm being honest, I'm really only excited about the elimination matches. The other two I don't care too much about. That's just me. That's just coming from me.
One,
Well, no. I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I
yeah,
care more about I like the Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. I'm liking
yep.
that. I like that one. I totally forgot about that. But obviously, if you got two big matches and the two big elimination chamber matches, you're going to have that Kevin and Sammy, which obviously is going to start the show. Then you've got to have.
Um,
You think the win? You think they're going to put an elimination chamber match to start it, pick up the chamber, then put it back down? I just feel like that's doing a
they
lot.
have they have before.
Okay, well, I mean, if that's what they're going to do, then they're going to start it with the women's elimination chamber. It'll be followed with that match, which I can't remember as an unnecessary match just to plug in, followed by Sammy and Kevin, and then ended with the men's elimination chamber.
I actually think there's a chance that the way that the order I'm looking at right here could actually be the order that it happened, and that would be the men's elimination chamber, the women's elimination chamber, uh, Tiffy and Trish versus Jackson and Candice LeRae, and then Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens. I
You
could
think
see
they
that
have that
closing
as
down
the
the
main?
show.
You can't have a main event. You can't have an elimination chamber premium live event, and the main event of that is not elimination chamber match.
Sure, you can. It's WWE.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're
They've
right.
been writing their own rules since what 1984. I mean,
You're right. You're right.
but I do see your point on that. That it would make better sense to end with more than likely the men's, but it could be the women's because the women's is pretty big too. Um,
It does have some big stars in it, I guess so.
yeah. So since we can cut, well, let's do the obvious thing. Let's get Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus versus Nia Jax and Candice LeRae out of the way. I feel like in about 2 minutes we're going to be done with this one, and in a minute and a half I'm going to be done. So probably 30 seconds later you'll be. But
Yeah, sounds
I,
like
I
mine.
get I get that you want Tiffany to have uh, a little bit more experience. So you don't want her to not have a match, knowing that WrestleMania is still like 6 weeks away at this point. It's so late in their normal season that you kind of want your champ to be busy, and this is a chance in Toronto to bring back Trish Stratus, who is it her 20-year anniversary or 30-year anniversary of her being in WWE? Or she looks great for her age, but
It's
I'm
about
never a fan
25.
of. It's
She
25, maybe that's what
something
it is,
like that. Something like that.
and it's in Toronto, and I will applaud that because this week on Strong Style, I went out of my way to say AEW did such a great job with Grand Slam, except for that it was on TV. It should have been a pay per view. Um, but of the five matches that they had on Grand Slam, three of them featured people from Australia. Two two of them featured people from New Zealand, and Grand Slam happened in Australia. It's something nobody else does. They said, you know what? If we're going to go here, let's have it every match feature somebody at least mid card or higher, one of our bigger stars from this area. It's something WWE doesn't do. So I applaud the effort there. I really just let Trish host it or something like that. There's no reason to have this match. I like all four of these women. They're all great. They're all really close to the top of their game.
But it
But
makes no sense. It
I'm with
makes no
you that
sense.
I could care less about what happens in this.
Yeah, it legit makes no sense outside of Trish is in her hometown. It's obvious who's going to win this match. Now, there's no way you have Trish lose in her hometown on her first match back. That's actually not a here. Go jump in the ring with a whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
Um, and it's like this would make a little bit more sense if it was Charlotte and Kansas or Nia and Charlotte. But I mean, there's nobody here that's in any kind of anything. They just grabbed four names and they
Well,
said, "Here's Tiff and Trish. Here's Nia and Nia
here's
and Candice."
here's how they're all connected. Naya used to have Tiffany as her underling
I
until Tiffany double crossed her and took the belt.
I
Um,
understand
as
all that.
as Tiffany was getting pushed out, Candice was getting brought in to kind of replace her as the underling, and then Trish is just trying to take up for Tiffany
So
Stratton because
Tiffany has a
technically
tag
she has
team
no friends
partner.
right now.
I
Yeah.
mean, like I said, I understand that, but like I said, I mean, the whole people are not caring about that. That I'm keep
Well,
looking to the left.
that's
That's
the
where I
break.
have my the card.
Well, I was about to say, I think that's the break that they need in this pay per view
You
because
might be right. You might be right.
technically, you could say, you know what, this is going to be a 3 hour show. We're gonna let the men's and the women's chambers go for 50 minutes to an hour apiece, and we're gonna let Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens destroy each other for 45 minutes, and we're gonna go off on time. You could really have those three matches and it'd be the whole thing, but there's no break. There's nothing
For
to
people to
give
go
you
to the
something
bathroom.
different in there. Yeah, or you could call your friend
Yeah,
back or just
yeah.
whatever, or just to go, man, I need to detox so I can
It's a
get into the
filler.
next match.
It's a
Yeah,
legit filler,
yeah,
and
absolutely.
that's why I could see it. I could see it one of two places: match number two or match number three. And
Yeah,
I and I almost feel like it's going to be based off of what happens at match number one. Like if match number one is the women's elimination chamber, and it's a killer, you're gonna be like, okay, we need to calm this down a little bit. Let's put them out. Or they could be like women's elimination chamber, the men's, Kevin
yeah.
and followed by women's tag team, followed by men's elimination chamber. To me, it doesn't make sense to start the show off with anything but Sammy and Kevin. I feel like you
That's good.
remember
Yeah,
premium live events. You start with the best you can with the best,
yeah.
and I just don't see Sammy and Kevin being the main event only because if this was anything but Elimination Chamber, that's your main event. Anything but Elimination Chamber.
I did
That
think of
could be your
something else.
WrestleMania. That could be your WrestleMania main event.
I really wanted Sammy and Kevin to be a WrestleMania potential main event or something because I think it really could, and then they don't need to fight over a belt or nothing like that. They
It could
could
be an
just
I
literally
Quit
destroy each
match. I
other.
think it'd be a beautiful I Quit match.
That that may alter the way we pick that because I did not think of that. But also keep in mind, for the same reason that Trish Stratus is on this card, both
Sammy
of
and
these guys
Kevin.
are from right up the road from there. They're outside of Toronto, Maryville. No, Maryville, Alberta, Canada is Kevin Owens' hometown. Sammy's from Vancouver, I think. I'm not.
Which
I'm gonna
for me,
look that up.
all that's all the more of let's have them start the match.
Oh no, he's Montreal. Okay, but he's even closer. Okay.
Well, no, he's Laval, Quebec. That's where he was born. Sammy was Laval, Quebec, and Kevin was born Saint Jean sur Rebecca, Quebec. They're both from Quebec.
That's St. John.
Yeah, Saint John, whatever it is. I went to the White Guy right quick.
Those 2 years of high school friends coming back to me suddenly.
Did nothing for me. But yeah, we both agree. Trish and Tiffany win that. You can't have Tiffany
Yeah.
going
Oh,
into into
yeah.
WrestleMania off of a premium live event loss.
She needs the momentum, and I mean, or maybe they lose because Charlotte decides to show up and force it. So because
Once you can't have Trish losing home. What's the point of her popping up and losing?
look at every WWE pay per view for the last 25 years. Most of the time, if it's your hometown, oh, you're losing. I think Randy Orton is like 1-14 in St. Louis. I mean, literally 1-14 or something in the city of St. Louis. It's
And
crazy.
the Miz loses all the time in Ohio.
Absolutely.
I don't know. Well, okay. Well, so who you going? You going Nia or Nia?
No, I agree with you that Tiffany kind of needs the momentum. So either she's going to win or Charlotte's going to do something to cause her to lose, so she doesn't lose the momentum of this.
My
Like I
thing
would
is,
have won if Charlotte wasn't there, you know.
this is the match that is, what they're going through. So you can't have Tiffany lose,
Right.
then you know what I'm saying? Because you've got to end what her and Nia and Candice are going through, and this is the
Yeah.
match that ends.
Yeah. This needs to put a pin in this one
And I
and
think
get,
her
like
her
you said,
winning,
move them out of the
yes,
peripheral for a minute.
and I think her winning does that.
Yeah. Because they're doing her a favor by not having the title on the line because this would be the ultimate way to take it off of her at the last minute and make it Nia and Charlotte or whoever in Charlotte and the Becky coming back or whoever. But this was their way of going, no, we want you to be the WrestleMania main event. So, you're in.
I'm with you on that.
And we surprisingly talked longer on that than I thought we would.
Yes, we did.
Uh, um, let's go Sammy and Kevin next, and then we'll finish on we'll go women's and then men's
Gotcha.
chambers on that. Uh, I really thought I was never going to see Sammy versus Kevin again about 2 or 3 years ago when they fought, and they even said, "Look, this is the last time. We're so tired of fighting each other. We fought each other for 20 years now. It's enough is enough." But that's why they were on different shows. They very rarely cross mingled anymore. And then you just saw this. I think you predicted it a couple months ago, and I kind of jumped on board too that we could just see train A left this station, train B left this station, and there was only one destination, and that was the
Them
side
too,
of the
yeah.
track where they were going to meet.
Yeah, and I think it's gonna end up being I don't want Kevin to leave. I want him to resign. But if he does
I heard he
leave,
did.
okay,
I
he
heard he
did.
signed a 2 or 3 year deal or something.
Okay. Okay, I was gonna say if Kevin did end up leaving, then I think Sammy sending him out in a I quit match would have been beautiful.
What if
Um,
Sammy leaves?
Sammy's not going nowhere.
I
But
I
that's
haven't I haven't heard anything. I haven't heard anything either
well,
way on that. Where
I think he's under a long contract. But I
maybe
mean, either way, if either one of them needs any time off, the other one sending them off is the best way to do it.
right?
I
Oh,
just
this
think this
is
is going to be a great match.
this is Eddie versus Ray,
Yes, no,
except
I
for
think it's Eddie versus.
they're not going to be nice about it. Eddie and Ray had a respect level where they were going to always go out, arm in arm, shaking hands. These two, the way their class level is, and this is a whole different respect, in my opinion. I think they're on equal playing fields, but this is a whole different respect where the most respectful thing that you can do to your best friend here is to absolutely destroy him in Toronto, Canada.
This is what I'm getting. I'm about to take two matches and I'm going to throw them into one, and this is what I'm getting with this match. The chemistry and technical ability of Owen versus Brett,
Yes.
and the craziness of Cactus Jack versus Triple H,
Ooh.
and you put all four of that into one.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get the crazy. I'm taking you out of one side, and the technical ones that can pull off whatever of the other side. And I think it's gonna write one of them off for a little bit. One of them's gonna be disappearing for a little bit,
Yeah.
if not both. If not both, they both.
And remember, there's the stipulation of this match that it's an unsanctioned match. Now, the way Michael Cole described it is you won't have referees, which means
No, the referee
there
will be
won't.
there, but just to do the count. That's it. That's all
Yeah,
he's there for.
basically, just it's basically like you said, it's basically a last man standing or an I quit match to a point because the only thing the referee's there to do is to go, "Yep, he's not getting up. You win."
Yeah, yeah, that's it. I mean, it's pretty much falls count anywhere no match. They just wanted to call it unsanctioned because Sammy's still hurt.
Yeah.
I'm saying who wins this match? This is literally one match I don't know who wins. I'm gonna say Sammy wins.
we're going to be on different sides of this one. I think this is the prize fighter, and this is his chance to jump back up and be a top contender. I think what would help him the most is if he swaps shows because I don't think they're going to let him beat Cody, which is stupid in my opinion. But Kevin is a top tier guy, and he could always be a top tier guy if they ever push him there. He really should be in one of these chamber matches, but instead they decided to put him
Yeah.
against his best friend. I feel like either Sammy probably said, "I got you, Kevin. You need to be back up in the top," or Triple H went, "Kevin, you need to kick back up."
Triple H is a big fan of Kevin as well, though. Yeah,
Yeah,
he did bring him on. He is a big fan. A little side note has nothing to do with this match or any of the other. It's very weird that Gunther has not been defending his title in any of these premium live events.
right.
It's very weird. He didn't defend it at the Royal Rumble. He didn't defend it at the one before that. He defended at Saturday night main event, but let's be honest, that's not a premium live event.
I
I
think
was just thinking about that.
you know we're definitely 6 weeks out or better of talking
WrestleMania.
about their next big show. But
Yeah.
I think in the last couple months they've been telling you what's going to happen at WrestleMania, and
Not
there's
a big
so many
fan of it.
times. Well, I know you're not, but there's so many times that they've had somebody that popular and they just completely screwed it up and didn't capitalize on it. I think this time, even if it kills them, they're
It's the
gonna
Daniel
they're gonna
Bryan thing
go.
again.
We
It's the
have to
Daniel
we have to
Bryan.
take our most popular guy and put him as high as we can until milk that cow till it's dry.
It's the Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, that's the one. That's what it was. I can never remember the one where they completely screwed it up. Daniel Bryan was the one. He got so popular where
They
if he
didn't screw it
walked
up. They
out and
put the
did this,
title on him.
oh yeah,
But that's what I'm saying. They didn't screw it up. I mean, they screwed up the Royal
oh
Rumble.
no,
Made it
oh
made it
they
I
screwed it up multiple times. The
Yeah,
Sheamus beating him in 7 seconds at WrestleMania. I mean, I remember
yeah.
watching that and I went, "What did Daniel Bryan do?" And the buddy's house I was at, he looks and he goes, "What do you mean?" I went, "You just had your top performer get
He was a
squashed
bad
by
guy at
another
the
one of
time,
your
though.
top performers in under 10 seconds."
Yeah, he was a bad guy at the time because he had AJ
He was.
with him, and he wasn't. I mean, I think when they dropped the ball with him was the both not winning either Royal Rumble. That's when he was
Yeah.
hot at both times.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah,
that's
and
neither
and
here or
that's why
there.
they look this time and they say, "Look, even though this is a completely different talent, if we're going to have somebody running this hot, we have to put them at least in the most high profile match. If he wins, fine. If he don't, fine. But we have to push our biggest person as high as possible right now."
I guess.
And it's
Not a
all
fan.
organic too. That's what's bizarre about him, about Jey
Yeah.
Uso. It's organic. This wasn't. They didn't force him something. He just come out and said something on a mic, and it took off like a what chant.
Or you're on the list.
Yeah, things that had no business getting over, and it's now the biggest thing in the sport.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sammy Kevin are going to destroy each other. It's going to be really good. With it being unsanctioned, that's what makes me think it's at the end because that's usually when they dim the lights and they do weird crap and stuff like that. And so for it to be at the end, is there a definite end or an undefinite end to this match as everything goes off air? That's the only reason I thought it could be towards the end. Is just because the ending of this is either going to be so definite or it's going to be so cloudy. There's no middle ground.
When you got Kevin, I got Sam.
Yep. I'm a big fan of both. It's hard to pick,
I am
but
too. I am too.
Kevin makes the most sense as
I
far as
wanted, hey, if you
boosting
remember,
back
I
up.
wanted Kevin to win I wanted Kevin to take the belt from Cody.
Yeah,
So I
I still
mean,
do. But
me as well.
right now, the list of people I want to beat Cody Rhodes gets longer every day, and that's not personal to Cody, but that's we're going to leave that discussion back where it was. Um, the women's elimination chamber.
I have my
I
opinions on
think
this
you, I think you have the right people in there. Just like the men's, you have 6 legitimate people that whoever wins this, I have no problem with. Nobody is in there for filler. Nobody is in there because they do funky stuff or have high spots. jumping off of things or doing weird stuff. It's like you're still going to get some big spots, but every one of these six competitors have a legit shot to win this, and nobody's going to say anything about it.
Yeah, I agree and I disagree. And what I disagree on is this. Two of them I think are kind of fillers. And it's just my personal opinion. And the two that I think that are fillers are Bianca and Naomi. I feel like those
Oh,
two are fillers.
if you didn't say those
But
two
this is
names,
why.
that was the two names I was going to say. That's the filler. This is where you're going to see the rift go between them.
But yeah, that's what I was about to say. I think they are fillers, but it's for a story. I guess it's
Yeah.
not really a filler, and it's because of what I've seen how they lost the titles. Naomi, I mean, it was thanks to obvious Dominique, and he kind of helped, but she lost the titles, and these two are
Mm-hmm.
gonna get in there with each other, and one of them's gonna pin the other one. There's gonna be a little saltiness. Also, I believe that it's gonna end up turning up that Naomi was the one that took Jade out, and that's what's
I
gonna be
was
a,
just
a
about to
triple
say.
threat.
I was just about to say real quickly who took out Jade, and I think we're in
Naomi,
100% agreement. I absolutely think it was Naomi.
and it's gonna be a triple threat of Naomi versus Bianca versus Jade at WrestleMania.
And sign
Um,
me up. I'm in for that one.
I think it's going to be great as well. And I think Jade is not the greatest performer. Obviously, she's getting there. She's getting really good.
She's been in the
Um,
sport for like 3 years, but
yeah, that's
she's
what I'm saying.
so
That's why I said
athletic that
she's
she's
not the
so good.
greatest. But having the Naomi and Bianca being able to carry most of the match would make that work. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why with them two. Bailey's in it because of her name. That's it.
Yeah, she
And
is
and,
the
and if,
John Cena of this chamber.
yes, yes, I agree 110%.
Bailey
And
has
her
earned the right that if Bailey stands up and says, "I'm in the Rumble," okay, I'm in the Elimination Chamber, great. Hey, I'm in the Survivor Series Challenge, or I'm in whatever. Yep,
yeah,
no argument.
but her winning doesn't make any sense. Her versus Rhea makes no sense. There's
Yeah,
no
that's
storyline there. There's
no,
nothing that's lived
it's
up to
really
it.
not.
So you take that out with
So we're down to three.
yes, that and see this and that and that's what I did when I did this. Alexa, she just came back, correct?
Yeah, Royal Rumble
We'll get back to that. Liv
hasn't really
just
established herself yet.
Liv just won a tag team title belt. Her and Rhea were done with that. There's no more her and Rhea. That does not make any sense to see them again, especially in WrestleMania. Now we're down to two, pretty much. Roxanne, I felt, showed in the Royal Rumble that she deserves a chance. I think Roxanne wins this match. I believe it could be Roxanne or Alexa. I can see Alexa winning it strictly because um she's like, I'm back. Let's do this. And Alexa versus I don't know if I like Alexa versus Rhea.
But see that you got to remember this is WrestleMania. It's about what is the biggest box office draw we can put on paper. What is going to make the most
Alexa's
sense and the
comeback.
most money?
Yeah.
I I don't know that it's Alexa. I agree with you that I mean if we would have wrote down secret ballots and at the same time announced that we both think that Roxanne Perez was going to win this, we probably either just gained twice as many followers or we lost all the people that ever watched this that we would agree on that. But that's the thing is when you look at box office, yeah, Bianca and Naomi are going to take each other out. I don't think Alexa's been around long enough. Bailey's a big enough name, but Bailey versus Rhea,
I'm
I
not
don't know.
interested in that.
I think that's the second option. I could say Liv Rhea, but we saw that for six
I'm
months
tired of
already
that.
last.
Yes.
So
Roxanne
I
makes the
mean,
most sense for me.
Roxanne is been in a weird spot in NXT lately where she lost the title. They're kind of going in a different direction with it, and she's still in the title picture, but she's already proven that at like I don't know, 23 years old, whatever she is, that she's good enough to go with anybody, and she doesn't need a title to be relevant. If she pulled a Kevin Owens, but instead of beating John Cena on Raw for the U.S. title or whatever it is on his first night in, if Roxanne steps in to WrestleMania and I don't think she's going to beat Rhea, but what if she puts
Puts
on
on a
such a
show.
good show
Yeah.
that they go, well, we can't put her in NXT anymore. She has to stay up here, and even Rhea would go, chick's good. She needs to stay here.
That's what I literally that's what I think's happening is they're going to give Roxanne that push, and she's going to lose to Rhea, but they're going to see, okay, are you now main event? We're giving you because right now, obviously, you're taking these two that's been growing and you're pushing them to stardom. Tiffany is the future, and
Yeah,
Roxanne is the future, and you've got two people that's been
for
running
sure.
it that's pushing them to the future.
Yeah,
So that's what I see with that. Okay, so we both picked Roxanne. So you're going.
yep. Yeah,
How long
yeah,
we got?
I agree. Give me Roxanne, and my secondary choice,
My
WWE
secondary
secondary
choice is
choice is
Alexa.
Bailey. Yeah, Alexa Bliss would be number two. That's the two matchups I want to see.
So
And
what?
so
How
we
long we
got
got?
about 8 minutes,
Okay, that's
and that's
perfect.
plenty enough to get into this. So
I agree.
we got the men's elimination chamber. To quickly go through the easy storylines, John Cena is John Cena. I don't think he's going to win this. Uh, I do think I do think he could slide over to TNA and beat Joe Hendry for the world title there and break his record, and that would still be a world title. And it is what it is.
I don't
But
think that happened.
CM Punk, absolutely, he's another one that, to me, if CM Punk stands up and says, "I'm in this opportunity," I don't disagree with him. He deserves a WrestleMania main event because he's
I
done
think
everything but that, and he's on that level.
I think Drew and Damian make up for what messed up in the Royal Rumble here to set up their match at the WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So that's why those two are in there. Drew and
Yep.
Damian are in there for that.
Now, Logan Paul is in there because A, he's legitimate, B, he's athletic, and C, he's Kofi Kingston in that he is going to jump off
The Rod
everything.
Van Dam,
He is the
Evan
filler.
Bourne.
Yeah, he is the filler slash entertainer. He's the comic relief. When this thing starts to get too serious, here comes Logan Paul flying out of a cannon or something like that. It's just that's what he's there for.
Well,
And
him
then
and
you get
I was
yeah,
gonna say this past Raw the other night. He started because it was in Ohio and he's from Ohio. He
yeah,
started out there and was talking. CM Punk interrupted him. They had a little back and forth talking because remember he threw CM Punk out. And CM Punk said, I don't dislike you, dude." He said, he's just you're just not as good as me." And they
yep,
were face to face, and then he slapped the shit out of Punk, and then rode out of the ring. And I'm talking about like I don't know if Punk had his tongue or his teeth in the wrong way, but when he slapped him, he cut his tongue. It's either his tongue or his lip. And you see Punk turn. He turned and he looked, and he's like, he sticks his tongue out, and when he picks his tongue back in, there's blood left. And yeah, it's so Logan Paul is the biggest heat seeking boo. He's really good at being hated.
well, and let's be honest, in looking at this list, he's the biggest draw in the match. He's the biggest draw. Not most talented, not most deserving. If you listed those people
People
out
watch to
and
see
asked 10 people off the street or 100 people off the street, who would you be most excited to see in a match? Logan
get
Paul's probably
beat.
going to be. It's going to be one of those two.
I know I'm saying to see Logan Paul get beat. That's what people want to see.
Yeah,
Um,
and then of course you get the
Seth
aging
freaking
veteran
Rollins.
Seth freaking Rollins. That he always makes sense. He is sort of because this it's a little bit of a stretch to me. He is this generation's HBK. In a
I,
point, the way he wrestles, there is a lot of times when he carried this company when only he was the one who could, especially when like Roman was out. Roman's done a good job since, but Seth is that guy they've always been able to rely on when Finn Balor got hurt, when anybody else got hurt. If they ever needed somebody to take it back over, even for a second or for a millennium, they go, Seth, I need you to hang on to this. I'll let you know when I need it back.
well, Cody came out to talk about The Rock taking his soul this past Monday, and Seth is the one that came out to confront him about it.
Okay.
So, um, I think
Give me a top two. Pick two.
it's either going to be Cena or Punk, and both of them, because Punk gets his main event or Cena gets his title. I see Punk. Actually, I'm gonna say Punk number one, Cena number two.
Okay, I was gonna say put them in order. I just it depends on how hurt Seth is. If Seth is still as dinged up as I think he is,
He's in good
then
shape.
I don't. Then he's going to get destroyed in this, and it doesn't matter if he does win. He's not going to be able to be ready for WrestleMania. He's going to be so out of it. That's the problem.
Seth, this is setting up Seth. If Punk loses, it's setting up Logan versus Punk, which I don't want to
But I
see.
want, but I want Punk to have his moment so bad. But the fact that those two have gotten into it, man, that's tough. I'll be honest. I would love to see it, but I do not think John Cena wins this match. I just I think this puts him in bigger desperation mode than not winning the Royal Rumble. Uh, because
Money in the Bank sets him
he
up for
doesn't
Money
care
in the
about
Bank,
WrestleMania. He cares about, or he's
the
acting
title.
like he cares about the record. And so he
Yes,
now
yes.
he because what other way could he get an instant world title shot?
I just want to say
There's
Money
still
in the
one
Bank.
coming.
Money in the Bank.
Absolutely, he's won it before. I
And
think he's
this
one of the
is
few people who didn't get it when he cashed in.
and wouldn't it be great to see him cash it in on CM Punk, the person that cashed it in on him?
Or or do like everybody else and cash in on Drew McIntyre. I mean,
Why not, man?
I
That's how
mean,
Drew.
there's three people in this discussion that haven't cashed in on Drew, I believe, and that's me, you, and John Cena. I mean, but yeah, I agree. You're going to get Damian and Drew that are going to pair off. Logan is there for some fun moments and some legitimacy. I don't think Cena wins. I think it comes down to Punk and Seth. I would actually say Logan might be the third one in the final three,
I think it's gonna
but
be Punk, Cena, and Logan. That's gonna be the final three. It's Punk, Cena, and Logan.
I
And
would swap out Cena for Seth. But I like that three.
okay, yeah. And who you got winning? Well, who's your top two? Number one, number two. I'm
Um,
thinking Punk and Rollins is what I'm
I
hearing
just
from you.
I want Punk to win. I feel like Seth is going to win this. Seth Cody, I think, is what they want to set up because it's a big box office. But yeah, I'll go Seth one, CM Punk two.
Well, we'll find out tomorrow,
We absolutely will. And
or if
luckily
you're
we have.
watching this, you'll find out today.
Yeah, absolutely. I will be trying to keep tabs at the place that I am at. But we will be back next week to talk all about this, and maybe I'll tell some stories about when I saw this cage behind me up close. It is no joke, folks. But from a tag team partner, Daniel Snyder, I am Jeremy York. This has been Fabulous Wrestling Talk, WWE Elimination Chamber. We will see you guys next week. Deuces,
Watch
gooses.
out,
Go watch wrestling.
watch out for me, guys. Daniel Snyder, 8361.